Life doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't wait for you to feel ready, and it sure as hell doesn't owe you a smooth ride. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you'll take control. Too many people waste their energy complaining about fairness. Newsflash. Life isn't fair. It never was and it never will be. But that's good news because it means you don't have to wait for things to be fair to start winning. You don't need permission, you need action. Nobody owes you anything, not your parents, not your friends, not society. The world doesn't reward need, it rewards value. You get what you work for, not what you think you deserve. The moment you take full responsibility for your life is the moment you take back your power. Because as long as you blame others, you remain stuck. And let's talk about time. Your most valuable asset isn't money, talent, or connections, it's time. Every second that passes is one you'll never get back. So why are you spending it on distractions, meaningless arguments, or waiting for the right moment? Stop waiting, start moving. The clock is ticking whether you take action or not. Now, here's something most people don't want to hear. Failure is part of the process. It's not a roadblock, it's a stepping stone. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than you've even tried. But here's the difference. They didn't let failure define them. They learned, they adjusted, and they kept going. So when you fall, and you will fall, get back up. That's how you win. And listen, people will come and go. That's life. Not everyone is meant to stay, and not everyone is meant to support you. Stop chasing those who walked away and start focusing on the ones who believe in you. Some people will only love you when you're beneficial to them. Accept it. Let them go. Move forward. Here's another bitter truth. Your feelings aren't the world's priority. You could be having the worst day of your life, but life moves on. It's not about ignoring your emotions. It's about not letting them control your actions. Toughen up. Control your emotions or they'll control you. But the biggest enemy you'll ever face, it's not the economy, not your boss, not your circumstances, it's you. Your doubts, your fears, your procrastination, they are the chains holding you back. Break them. Because the only thing stopping you from the life you want is the story you keep telling yourself about why you can't have it. Change the story and you change your life. Understand this, comfort is the silent killer of dreams. The moment you get too comfortable is the moment you stop growing. Growth happens in discomfort, in challenges, in pushing beyond your limits. So embrace the struggle because that's where the magic happens. Life doesn't play by your rules. It doesn't care about your plans, your expectations, or what you think you deserve. The truth is, life isn't fair and it never will be. But that's not a reason to complain, it's the reason to rise. Because the moment you stop expecting fairness is the moment you start creating results. Look around. Some people are born into wealth while others have to fight for every inch. Some work hard and still struggle while others seem to have it easy. But you know what? Sitting around and crying about it won't change a damn thing. The world doesn't reward those who wait for fairness. It rewards those who refuse to be stopped by unfairness. Think about it. The most successful people on this planet didn't succeed because life handed them a fair deal. They succeeded because they made a decision no matter what obstacles, no matter how unfair the circumstances, they were going to win anyway. They didn't waste time blaming the system, their past, or their lack of advantages. They saw reality for what it was and took control. You need to do the same. Because if you're waiting for life to treat you fairly before you take action, you'll be waiting forever. Stop waiting, start adapting. You will get knocked down. You will face rejection. You will watch people with half your talent get ahead just because they know the right people. You will see people cheat their way to success while you're out here doing the right thing. And if you let that break you, you've already lost. But if you recognize that life's unfairness isn't a barrier, it's fuel, then suddenly you become unstoppable. You stop complaining and start strategizing. You stop comparing and start executing. But here's what most people don't get. Unfairness isn't an excuse, it's a challenge. It's the fire that separates those who wish from those who win. Some people look at an unfair world and give up. Others look at the same world and say, fine, if the deck is stacked against me, I'll learn how to play a different game. That's the mindset that changes everything. You don't need the world to be fair to succeed. You just need to be relentless. And let's be real, sometimes unfairness works in your favor. Sometimes you'll get an opportunity someone else deserved. Sometimes you'll be in the right place at the right time. You don't complain about that, do you? No. So why waste time complaining when it works against you? Life is a game of strategy, not justice. The ones who understand this, they rise. The ones who wait for fairness, they stay stuck. Which one are you going to be? So stop waiting for an even playing field. Stop looking for guarantees. The only guarantee in life is that nothing is guaranteed. But if you're willing to fight, if you're willing to adapt, if you refuse to let unfairness define your limits, then nothing, and I mean nothing, can stop you. Nobody owes you anything. Not your parents, not your friends, not your boss, not society. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you take control of your life. Because as long as you believe that someone else is responsible for your success, your happiness, or your future, you're giving away your power. You're waiting for someone to come save you, to hand you an opportunity, to recognize your potential. But let me tell you something, nobody is coming. And that's the best news you'll ever hear, because it means you don't have to wait. You get to decide how far you go. Too many people walk around with this sense of entitlement, thinking the world should reward them just because they exist. They think they deserve a better job, more money, more respect, without putting in the work. And then they get frustrated when life doesn't just hand it over. But here's the truth. You don't get what you want, you get what you earn. You get what you fight for. You get what you prove your worth. If you're sitting around waiting for someone to recognize you, you're already losing. Because while you're waiting, someone else is out there taking action. Someone else is out there knocking on doors, learning new skills, showing up early, staying late, doing whatever it takes. And guess what? That's the person who's going to win. You have two choices. You can keep blaming other people for what you don't have, or you can take full responsibility and change the game. I know people who grew up in the worst possible circumstances, poverty, abuse, no support, no connections, and they still made it. Not because someone handed them an easy path, but because they refused to let their circumstances define them. They didn't waste time being bitter about what they didn't have. They got to work, they took ownership, and because of that, they built a life they never would have had if they'd been waiting for someone to come fix it for them. And let's be clear, taking responsibility doesn't mean everything is your fault. It means everything is your problem. It means you stop looking for excuses, stop waiting for the perfect conditions, and start finding solutions. The moment you own your life fully, completely, with zero blame, is the moment you take back your power. Because if nobody owes you anything, then nobody can stop you either. You become the only thing standing between where you are and where you want to be. So stop waiting, stop expecting, stop wishing someone would give you a break. Instead, go create one. Because when you finally understand that the world doesn't owe you success, that's when you realize you owe it to yourself to go out and get it. Time is the most valuable asset you have, and yet most people throw it away like it's limitless. You can lose money and make it back, you can fail and try again, but once time is gone, it's gone forever. And if you're wasting it, scrolling endlessly on your phone, putting off your goals, waiting for the perfect moment, you're making the biggest mistake of your life. Because the truth is, you don't have time to waste. You don't have time to wait for things to get easier. You don't have time to sit around hoping success will find you. The clock is ticking, and every second that passes is a second you'll never get back. You say you want to change your life, you say you want to be successful, but what are you actually doing with your time? Are you using it to build something real, to develop your skills, to create opportunities, or are you letting distractions steal your future? Because make no mistake, every wasted hour, every day spent making excuses, every time you say, I'll start tomorrow, is a choice to stay stuck, a choice to let your dreams slip further away. Look, everyone has the same 24 hours. The difference between people who succeed and people who don't isn't luck, talent, or background. It's how they use their time. Some people wake up and get straight to work. Others wake up and start scrolling, start procrastinating, start wasting the most precious resource they'll ever have. The question is, which one are you? Are you going to keep making excuses about why you haven't started? Or are you going to get serious about where your time is going? Because here's the reality, time doesn't stop when you're tired. It doesn't pause when life gets hard. It doesn't care if you're not in the mood. It keeps moving whether you take action or not. And if you're not careful, you'll wake up one day realizing you spent years waiting instead of doing. You'll look back and see that the time you wasted could have been the time that built your dream. And by then, it'll be too late to get it back. So stop waiting. Stop telling yourself you'll start next week, next month, next year. There is no perfect time. There is only now. And if you don't take control of your time, someone else will. The world is full of people and things designed to steal your focus. Entertainment, social media, other people's demands. But you have to decide what matters more, temporary distractions or your future. Because the life you want isn't going to create itself. It's built in the hours you put in when no one is watching. It's built in the discipline to say no to time wasters and yes to what actually moves you forward. It's built by those who understand that time is not something to be spent, it's something to be invested. And if you're not investing it wisely, you're guaranteeing that years from now you'll look back with regret. Failure is inevitable. No matter how smart you are, how talented you are, how hard you work, at some point you're going to fail. It's not a question of if. It's a question of when. And when it happens, you have two choices. You can let it define you or you can use it to refine you. Because failure isn't the end of the road, it's part of the road. The most successful people in the world, they've failed more times than most people have even tried. The difference is they didn't stop. They didn't let failure break them. They learned, they adapted, and they came back stronger. The problem isn't failure itself. The problem is the meaning most people attach to it. They take it personally. They see it as proof that they're not good enough, not capable enough, not meant for success. That's a lie. Failure is not a reflection of your potential. It's a test of your resilience. It's the universe asking, how bad do you really want it? Most people get knocked down and stay there. They let one rejection, one mistake, one setback convince them to give up. But the people who win, they get back up. They see failure for what it is, feedback, a lesson, a stepping stone. Think about a child learning to walk. They fall over and over again, but do they ever stop trying? No, because they haven't been conditioned to fear failure yet. They don't sit there and think, well, I guess walking just isn't for me. They get back up, try again, and eventually they take those first steps. That's how success works. But somewhere along the way, we start believing that failure is something to be avoided instead of embraced. And that belief kills more dreams than failure ever could. Every failure contains information about what didn't work, about what needs to change, about what you need to improve. If you ignore that information, you repeat the same mistakes. If you use it, you evolve. The truth is, failure is the price of progress. You don't get strong without resistance. You don't get wise without mistakes. You don't get successful without setbacks. So if you've failed, congratulations, it means you're in the game. It means you're pushing your limits. It means you're one step closer to figuring it out. But here's the real danger. It's not failing that ruins people. It's the fear of failure that keeps them stuck. People are so afraid to fail that they never even try. They'd rather stay comfortable than risk looking stupid, risk being wrong, risk falling flat on their face. And that's the real failure. Because if you never try, you've already lost. The only way to truly fail is to give up. Everything else is just part of the process. So the next time you fail, don't ask, why me? Ask, what's next? Because success isn't about avoiding failure. It's about refusing to let it stop you. People come and go. That's just life. Some people are meant to walk with you for years, others for a season, and some only for a moment. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you'll stop wasting energy holding on to those who are never meant to stay. Too many people cling to relationships, friendships, and connections that have already run their course. They chase people who've walked away. They beg for attention from those who've lost interest. But here's the truth. You can't force someone to stay in your life, and you shouldn't have to. Not everyone is meant to be part of your journey forever. Some people come into your life to teach you something. Some come to push you in a new direction. Some come to test you, to challenge you, to break you down so you can build yourself back up stronger. And then there are those who come simply to remind you of what you don't need. But no matter the reason, when their time is up, let them go. Because the more time you spend trying to hold on to the wrong people, the less time you have to focus on becoming the person you're meant to be. It's painful when someone you care about drifts away, a friend you thought would always be there, a partner you believed was the one, a mentor you looked up to, and when they leave, it's easy to take it personally, to think it's something you did wrong, to question your worth. But that's a mistake. People's choices aren't always about you. Sometimes they outgrow the relationship. Sometimes you outgrow them. And sometimes life just pulls you in different directions. Fighting to hold on doesn't change that. It just makes the process harder. The reality is if someone was meant to be in your life, they'd be there. They wouldn't need to be convinced, begged, or chased. The ones who truly belong will choose to stay, and those who leave, let them. Because when you finally stop trying to hold on to the past, you create space for the right people to enter your life. The ones who support your growth, the ones who push you to be better, the ones who see your value without you having to prove it. You have to be willing to walk alone if necessary, to stand strong even when the people you thought would always be there disappear, because at the end of the day, the only person who will be with you for your entire life is you. So stop looking back, stop mourning what's gone, stop giving energy to people who aren't giving it back. Your future isn't behind you, it's ahead of you. And the people who are meant to be part of it, they'll meet you there. No one is coming to save you. No mentor, no friend, no family member, no government, no miracle. If you're waiting for someone to swoop in and fix your problems, to hand you an opportunity, to show you the way, you're wasting time. Because the only person who can change your life is you. And the moment you accept that, you take back your power. Most people don't want to hear this. They want to believe that if they just wait long enough, if they just complain loud enough, if they just keep hoping, someone will come and make things better. But hope is not a strategy. Wishing is not a plan. You can sit there waiting for a break, or you can get up and create one. You can wait for permission, or you can give it to yourself. Because the truth is, the people who succeed in life aren't the ones who had everything handed to them. They're the ones who decided to take control, even when the odds were against them. Nobody owes you a roadmap. Nobody owes you a step-by-step guide to success, and even if they did, it wouldn't matter, because nobody can walk the path for you. You have to do the work. You have to make the tough decisions. You have to push forward when it's uncomfortable, when it's inconvenient, when it feels impossible. And that's why most people don't make it, because they're still waiting for someone to make it easier. Look at the most successful people in the world. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't sit around complaining about what they didn't have. They looked at their situation, no matter how bad, and they made a decision: I will not stay here. They didn't know exactly how. They didn't have all the answers, but they took action anyway. They figured it out as they went. That's how real success happens, not through waiting, but through movement. And here's the thing: no one's coming to push you. No one's going to knock on your door and say, hey, it's time to get your life together. That's on you, and it's always been on you. That's not a burden. It's the greatest gift you've got. Because if no one's coming to save you, then no one can stop you either. You don't have to ask for permission. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment. You just have to start right now, right where you are, with whatever you have. Stop waiting. Stop hoping someone will show up and do it for you. Stand up, take control, own your life, because if you don't, no one else will. Your feelings are lying to you. They tell you that you're too tired to keep going, that you're not good enough, that you should wait until you feel motivated before you take action. But if you live your life based on feelings, you'll never get anywhere, because feelings are unreliable. One day you're fired up and ready to take on the world. The next, you don't even want to get out of bed. If you let your emotions dictate your actions, you'll spend your life on a roller coaster, starting and stopping, making progress and then losing it, moving forward only when it feels easy. And that's why most people never reach their potential. They only do the work when they feel like it. Success isn't built on feelings, it's built on discipline. It's built on doing what needs to be done, even when you don't want to do it. It's easy to take action when you're inspired. It's easy to work hard when everything is going your way. But what separates the best from everyone else is what they do when they don't feel like it. Champions train when they're exhausted. Entrepreneurs show up when the results aren't coming fast enough. Leaders keep pushing when no one is clapping for them. And that's the difference between the people who make it and the people who don't. You can't trust your emotions when it comes to discipline. Your mind will always find reasons why you should take it easy, why you should put things off, why you should wait until tomorrow, but tomorrow turns into next week turns into next year, and before you know it, you're standing in the same place wondering why nothing has changed. The truth is, you don't need to feel ready. You don't need to want to do it. You just need to do it, because action creates momentum, and momentum changes everything. Think about the last time you didn't feel like working out, but you forced yourself to do it anyway. 5 minutes in, your energy changed. You got into the flow. And by the time you finished, you felt incredible. Why? Because action shifts your state. It overrides your emotions. But most people never give themselves a chance to experience that. They let their temporary feelings decide their long-term future. And that is the greatest mistake you can make. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting to feel motivated. Stop letting your emotions dictate your destiny. Make the commitment to show up no matter what, to do the work whether you feel like it or not. Because if you only move when it's easy, you'll never move far. The real game begins the moment you stop letting feelings control your actions and start letting your actions control your feelings. Nobody cares about your excuses. Life doesn't care. The world doesn't care. And the people who are out there succeeding, they definitely don't care, because while you're busy justifying why you can't do something, someone else with the same obstacles, maybe even worse ones, is out there making it happen. That's the truth most people don't want to hear. They want sympathy. They want validation. They want someone to tell them that their excuses are legitimate. But the harsh reality is excuses don't change outcomes. They don't build businesses. They don't create success. They don't improve your health, your finances, or your relationships. The only thing they do is keep you stuck. You say you don't have time. Someone with the same 24 hours is using theirs to build something great. You say you don't have the resources. Someone with even less is figuring it out. You say you're too tired, too busy, too inexperienced. Someone who's been in your exact position is pushing past it, refusing to let their circumstances define them. The difference isn't luck. It isn't privilege. It's mindset. It's the decision to stop making excuses and start making progress. Every time you make an excuse, what you're really saying is, I don't want it badly enough. Because when you truly want something, when it has to happen, not just when it would be nice if it happened, excuses disappear. You stop looking for reasons why you can't, start focusing on how you can. That's the shift that changes everything. And until you make that shift, you'll stay exactly where you are, watching other people succeed while you convince yourself that it's just not possible for you. Look around. Every person who's at the top of their game had reasons to quit. They had moments where they could have justified giving up, but they didn't, because they understood something most people don't. Your excuses are just stories you tell yourself to stay comfortable. And the moment you stop believing them, you set yourself free. You realize that nothing is actually stopping you except the limits you've placed on yourself. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. So what's it going to be? Are you going to keep telling yourself why you can't? Keep convincing yourself that your circumstances are just too hard? Keep waiting for the perfect conditions that will never come? Or are you going to take control, drop the excuses, and finally do what it takes? Because at the end of the day, success isn't about who has the fewest obstacles. It's about who refuses to let them win.